Hi folks, now you're very welcome back to another Celtic Mix tutorial, and today we have a lovely little beginner piece lined up for you called Molly Malone. Now Molly Malone was the famous lady apparently who lived in Dublin and worked as a fishmonger, selling the fish on the side of the streets to make her wages, of course, around the late 1800s in Dublin. And of course it's seen as probably another unofficial anthem for Dublin and for Ireland. Now, as usual in the lessons, we will separate the whole lesson out for you, and we'll show you how to demonstrate the right hand. I'll show you how to play the left hand, showing you how to put both hands together. And then at the very end, then we'll have a look at maybe some articulation, some maybe dynamics needed in order to put some polish onto the piece as you play it in its entirety. With that also, we'd also like to ask if you do like the tutorial today, that we'd ask you to like and subscribe to our channel. The music is there for you, for the people who like to read the music, so you can download that as well. And then of course that we'd welcome any feedback, so if you want to make a comment, just put it down at the end of the channel and we'll reply to you on that. Okay, so without further ado, let me get on and play the right hand for you. Right, well, looking at the music here now, you'll see that it is a waltz and it is in 3/4 time, which means 3 beats to the bar. It's in the key of G major. So, and I've broken the music down to probably 8 bars with a repeat. I've kept the notation very simple, and so therefore when we come to the basis, we're only going to look at using 3 chords, maybe the G, the C and the D. And it's a great piece for, you know, people who are just starting to take up the accordion, starting to learn. And there are other chords that can go into this tune. Much later on we'll come back to that in much more tutorials, but for today we'll keep it simple. Okay, so we'll see you now for the right hand. Great, well just as we look at the music here now, we're going to see, I'm going to put my hand ready for the tune, and as we always like to do as a beginner, you make sure that your accordion is well strapped onto you, you have your back strap on, you have it sitting nicely here. Don't worry, we're just trying the right hand now at the moment, so just as usual, just let your left hand sit there, it'll find its own thing to do, and we get our hand ready. And we'll see that, bringing my hand up to the accordion, we'll see that the first note we're going to play now on the tune is a D, and this cuts a low D here, on the thing here. And I noticed then that I will have to go then to the second note, to G, and I'm going to get my second finger for the note here. So I'll go through the notes very simply for you for the first 8 bars, okay? And the other thing to notice about before I start to play the tune, you might say, well Jerry, this is only one note in that bar. This tune actually starts on what you call an upbeat. And when we come back to more of the theory in the lessons on the channel, we'll go into that in detail. But suffice today, just that you just have to play one note, and this is actually the 3rd beat of a bar. So there's not a full bar there. So we just count 3 on this when I start to count it, okay? So let's get started anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In you go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and off. And I'm just going to hold it there for a moment. Remember now, if your bellows is stuck out a little bit, don't worry that too much more. You're only learning. Just push it back in with the bellows button again. So I'm going to start that again now, and we'll go. And remember, I'll start on the count of 3, and on the count of 3, I'm going to be playing my D note, and that'll be start me into the tune. So 1, 2, 3 to your G for your second finger. 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait now. I am now going to take my bellows back in. I'm going to get my finger ready for my B note, and here we go. 1, 2, 3. Stretch. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and off. And remember, you will see there in the music the instruction there to tie the A there into the next bar. 1, 2, 3. So you hold that A then for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And I move on there now and into the next bit, and we have the D coming again, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait, get your finger ready, change your ballot. And now we want to do 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that gets you all the verse done in that tune. Bear in mind that when you come to the end of the verse, you have landed on what you call a G note, and it's here, the G note's in your, and you have your finger 1 on it. Now really all we have to do basically is we take our thumb off the G and we can just place it back onto the D here to go to start our chorus basically. And I will start that now. So the chorus then starts on the count of 3. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and wait. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then off. Okay. So what I might do now is I might take you through the whole tune, the actual verse and the chorus. It's a pretty simple tune. The notes are repeated throughout it. Just what you have to watch out for playing is I count it in again. When we're starting off the tune, the actual tune starts on the 3rd count. So you go 1, 2, and then you come in with your first note. So let me just get back on now, and I'm just going to play the whole tune from the very start. Okay. So I'm going to get my hand set up again. My ballot is closed. Keep my hand there. He'll sit there for the moment. He not needed to do anything yet anyway. And my D is here. And remember, I go 1, 2, 3, because that note is in Dublin. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. In we go now. Wait. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Out you go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In we go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3 out, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and nicely off. Very good. So just as a beginner on the accordion, one important thing to remember is when you're changing the direction of the bellows, which is very, very important. And the other thing we said, that the accordion has to sit on you straight. So remember, there are various things holding the accordion. As I said, this is a 96 accordion. You might have a smaller accordion. If you have a smaller accordion, great. But I use, my tie here to hold the keyboard here. I have my back strap on me, and it's always a good recommendation if you have a bigger accordion too, for your posture, all that to keep you straight. We'll look at all these things as we build the channel, but a back strap on you. You then have your left leg here, should remain solid on the floor, and of course then you have your left hand going through the strap here, and this is helping your bellows come out. So all these things go in to help you actually stabilize the accordion, because you must remember then you have to get to breathe in and out properly, and of course if the accordion is not held on you properly, it's going to interrupt how you breathe. You won't be able to breathe properly if you find you're trying to hold the accordion or put it back up again and all this sort of thing. So it has to think of wearing your accordion like you'd wear your jacket. You wear a nice coat, a nice jacket, it fits nicely onto you. You're not having to pull it down here or pull it there. That's a kind of a little tip. I always kind of make sure that my accordion is nicely fit on me, snug on me and that. So one trick, I always say, fingering, very important. Now we haven't put any dynamics into this yet, we'll do that in a minute. But fingering, we have looked at the fingering, just the bellows direction and changing the bellows. And I always say to them, when you're starting off, think of the note you're going to play, think of the direction you're playing the accordion, and then don't be afraid to wait some time, then change the bellows. And I'll do this again just the last time, just to the right hand. This is all the tune done on the right hand. So just one more time I go through it, and then we get on to the left hand. So Remember, get my hands straightened up. Here we are. I know this is my top note I want here, and I'm just have my hand set like this. And I know my second note is going to be going to here, so I just kind of set my hand up like this, and that will set me in good train as I go through the melody. So, after 3 now, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Keep going out. 3, 1, 2, 3. A nice even pull on the accordion. 2, 3. Wait. Lift your finger. Then get your pressure to change your ballads, and here we go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Count here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Down to your G. Now I'm going to change the direction of my ballads. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And 3. Out. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and off nicely. Very good. Now, if you get that done, that would be beautiful. And that means that you have a nice direction of your bellows going out, coming back in, and you don't have any sort of shake on the changeover of the bellows, because the last thing you want, if I just played showed you this, you know. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You don't want that going on in your playing right from sort of day one. So what you want to do is when you're playing the accordion, you have a nice pull, steady pull on your right hand going out, stop, and a nice even push on it coming back in, and so forth, and going out. So your push and pull is often even. It's not disjuncted like that. Remember, we're not playing a melodeon or a concertina. They're different instruments. We're playing the piano accordion. So you want this airflow nice like that going out, and you want a nice steady arm to bring your bellows back in again, and you'll then get a nice sound on your accordion. Very good. So well done on that right hand. Okay, we'll move on now and have a look at the left hand. Great, well done now on that right. And remember, don't worry if you're taking a bit of time to learn the right hand. Use all the time you want. If it takes you 15, 20 minutes, and maybe good to have the tune memorized, but remember that the fingering is there on the tune there for you as well. But don't worry if you have an issue with some of the fingerings. You can always drop us an email or a comment at the end of the tutorial here after you've liked and subscribed, of course. That'll be great, you know, and we'll come back to you on it. But the finger is pretty decent because we want to use all our 5 fingers. But don't worry if you have a finger that doesn't work, we can always help you out with that. So moving on to the left hand now. For beginners, basically, we're going to look at 3 chords in this tune just for today. Now, there are loads of other chords and harmonies we can put into this melody as we build the tune. But just to keep it sort of in a beginner idiom today, we're just going to look at 3. And as I said, when you're looking to play the left hand, do please persevere with it. It takes time and effort. And if you have to go into a room on your own and shut the door, people say, oh, that noise, I don't want that noise going on anymore in the house. Go in and do it on your own. It is well worth it because the accordion is a lovely instrument, and the left hand really adds to the right hand. So I always say on the accordion, you have to learn the bass notes in blind, basically. You have to learn the feel of the buttons and everything else. But generally speaking, sometimes when you put your hand into an accordion, sometimes my hand now, from years of playing, it just happens to land on what I call my C bass. And you will see in the screen showing up here, you'll see my fingers there. You'll see my third finger, my left hand, going onto what I call a solo row C bass. And beside it here, you'll see what's called C major. Now, that's all we're looking for. We're looking for 3 chords with C major. We're looking for the next chord right above it. Now, this takes a bit of practice as well as a beginner, because what happens, it's like driving a car. Someone says, well, get back onto the line. You're going off across the other side of the road. That's what happens to driving. You have to learn to steer a car straight. Well, I can tell you, folks, you're learning to steer straight here, because here we go. We're not going to wander over there. You think that's straight. No. This is straight in the accordion, it's not over there. So your brain has to learn this. So there's C, C major. Keep your hand there straight up, and this will come to G and G major. And I'll play it for you now in a second. And the last bass we just want for the day, we're keeping it very simple. We want D and D major, and they're here. Great, so that's great. So that's C, G, and D major. Okay, so now we'll have a look and see and listen and see how they sound. And so I'm going to play C. Remember now in this tune, it's a waltz, is in 3/4 time. So we want like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the bass will go something like this, simply 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Play it 3 or 4 times. And remember, for the bass, you're looking for crisp sound. You really don't want the basses to be overlapping. For instance, we do not want this. Anything like that, folks, forget about it. So I would say persevere with the sound and look for this and listen, because this is, again, you'd often hear, like for instance, if you take up a violin, the first thing the teacher would say, listen to the sound you want to get. You have to make the sound. You have to listen for the sound you want in this as well. And we want this sound. Nice, crisp, very nice. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Now I'm going to wait. I'm going to pick my G bass. I'm not going to go off to the side. I'm going to go up straight. Now I have it. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Lovely. I'm going to stop the bellows. I'm going to go up straight, not across, up straight. There we go. And I go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I might go back down. Oh, find it. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. And maybe go back to your C. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So we have 3 basses. We have a C bass, a G bass, and a D bass. And that's all we're going to use. So I would say in the left hand, I find that sometimes when people take up the piano accordion, some people decide, oh, that's too much noise for me. I'm not going to play that at all. I'm going to abandon it. I would suggest don't abandon it. Please, it's there to be played, so play it. Persevere with it. Sometimes people have a heavy left hand and they come in and they kind of give this thing a whirl, and of course dragging the bellows. It can be a very loud instrument, the accordion, particularly when you go into maybe say playing a ceilidh band or play with such instruments like violins or banjos. Oh my God, here's an accordion coming in and he's going to play the bass as well. So look, we will train you here on this channel how to play the bass really well, that people will remark it basically. Okay, so practice this nice crisp bass up and D, and not to drag them out like this, not for the traditional music. We do not want this for our traditional music, trust me. All your traditional friends will leave you very quickly. So start with that. Great, okay, so now I'm going to play the left hand on its own, and we can sing away to your heart's content. Remember, it's the music, it's supposed to be therapeutic, you enjoy it and everything else. And it would start, the bass will start in the front, so we have a little introduction note on the right hand, but that doesn't affect the bass. So after 3 then, 1, 2, 3, and we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and I'm going to stop there because that's the end of a section of the tune of the song. Okay, now you will notice there that you have to, of course, have a little skip, and you notice there's a skip from the C up to the D bass. And you can practice that again before you try to put it into the tune. Just practice playing your C bass and then going from your G up to your D. Let's play that again. That's why, of course, you're doing this left hand separately. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and keep going. 1, 2, 3. C bass. 1, 2, 3. Jump. 1, 2, 3. Stop. In we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, C, 1, 2, 3, jump, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and goes. 3, 1, 2, 3, G. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Lovely. And that gets you all of your verse done, basically. It's pretty much then the same. We just do the chorus as well. Because then we're going, alive, alive, oh ho, alive. That's the part of the song we're going into now. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and jump. 2, 3, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Lovely. Now that's really well done. So just spend, I would just ask maybe spend a few minutes just doing that left hand on its own. Takes time to get the bass. And remember, in the bass you're not looking for this. You're looking to a nice, crisp, short staccato. And not to, on the second and third count, to do this. Some people, for some reason, they just love digging into the bass, and it's like digging into potatoes. I don't know what they're digging for, but no, just get this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So spend a bit of time just doing that left hand, and well done there now, and we'll see you now in a few minutes for putting the hands together. Great, now well done getting so far, and now we're going to look at putting the hands together. Remember now, you've just spent quite a while on playing your right hand, perfecting your bellows in and out, in and out. You've just done your left hand, practicing that as well. So if you've done all that, the rest will sort of come together. There may be a few potholes, but don't worry about it. Trial and lots of effort will get it done anyway. So I get my hand set up on the right hand for my D note here. I just take my hand out, I put my hand, and remember, of course, we've always said this is not to be too loose or too tight. Should be just tight enough that you get your hand nicely through it, and when you get in, you have get your bass sorted out, and your bass here is sorted out. I'll just push my bellows in a bit here, started. My left hand is ready, and we're ready to go. And I'll take it very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait now, think now. Bellows has got to come in. Get my finger lined up for the next note. Down to my G bass. 1, 2, 3. Stretch your finger. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Jump. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Don't move. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, jump, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we go now, live, alive, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, off. Some people might be running out of air. I've often begun you're trying to push the thing in and you can't play the last note because you run out of air. Don't worry. That's a problem that happens, just learning to navigate your way through how much air do I have left to finish off the tune. That's another big point we'll discuss again. We'll come back to it for another lesson basically. But well done. Let me go through that again just to pick the bones out again for you, and just to iron out any issues for the thing. Okay, so we'll start off again. Remember, get your bellows right. Now, if you want to open the bellows a little bit like that, that's grand. Leave it there for you. Right hand up, left hand onto your G bass, thumb on D, and counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute now. Well done. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and off. And you just about feel a fraction of air left, which just shows that I know what I've done here anyway. So don't worry if your accordion is out there and you come in. But it is very important to get a good structure on, you know, what we're doing here. We're generally doing 4 bars out, 4 or 5 bars out, 4 bars in again. You will get an idea. Really what you don't want to be getting is maybe say, oh, there's 3 bars out this and there's 2 bars out here. 3. You want to try and get some consistency, because remember, your arm will learn to flow. Your arm is going like this. Here's your arm, pulling it out. Remember, your arm is got like going like this and then in and then like this and this. This is very important. Keep a nice flow, a nice bit of pressure coming in, and then a nice pull going out and pressure coming in again. These are all little things which will give you a nice sound on the right hand. So I think then just you can have a look at some dynamics we've kept in that tune. You'll notice that I haven't been playing the bass too loud, and we tried not to get this sound in it. Really, you can say, oh, get rid of that accordion or get rid of the player, whatever it is. Just remember, it drowns out your right hand. So this is an art in itself in trying to learn the pressure you need to have on the black buttons and the pressure on the left. This is all stuff we'll learn as we get better at playing the accordion. But I think if you have practiced that and spend a bit of time on that and let me know how you're getting on with it, we'll come back another time for another tutorial. So right from now we'll leave it at that, and the best of luck with that, and we'll see you again then for the next tutorial.